Well, look what I just had to do. Yep, I wanted to get another 2,000 miles out of this tire. It's the rear on the Ducati Multistrada V4S. Has a little over 11,000 miles on it right now, and it's just about ready to be replaced as far as my comfort zone in case I want to go on a long trip and I hit some rain. It's in decent shape, but I figured I would replace it at about 12,000 miles. Unfortunately, yesterday, I felt really loose, and I was like, what's going on with this bike? It's not cornering right. And I'm very specific with my tire pressures. I check the tire pressures every single, not every day, but every other day, every third day. If the bike sits for more than 2 days, which is rare, I will go ahead and check the pressures before I ever take it out. Anyway, so yesterday, it was only like maybe 36 hours since I checked the tire pressure, and I'm coming home from work and I'm like, this bike just feels so loose. I did not like it, and I was questioning the suspension. I'm like, well, maybe I thinned out the fork oil, but this feels more like a rear problem. Anyway, ended up putting a plug in, and let me show you. So as you know, under the passenger seat, we have this kit right here. I actually talked about it before on one of my other videos. So inside this kit, inside this handle on the end there, you have the reamer and the plugger. That's what I call it. Then you have three, I'm down to two now, 3 plugs, and then this here razor blade with a piece of chalk to kind of mark where you're working, and this is the cap for it. All right, so how does this thing work? Well, if you haven't plugged a tire before, I'm not going to show you because I already did it, but I'm going to explain it. So the first thing you're going to do is try to determine, well, first of all, if there's a nail or screw in there, you remove the nail or screw. Now, when you remove the nail or screw, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you remember what direction the hole went, because if it came in at this angle, you're going to ream this out in this angle. If it came in at this angle, you're going to ream it out at that angle. You're always going to ream this out in the same direction that the puncture is. In my case, whatever I drove over didn't get stuck in the tire, it just created the puncture wound, okay? Which was very small, and it was a relatively low leak because you couldn't hear it at all right? Now, you go into the hole, and then you're gonna just screw this in and just ream this thing right out. And when you do that and you pull it and twist, what's gonna happen is it's gonna let all the remaining air out, if there is any in there. In my case, there was, because I just filled the tire up. And you're gonna have a significantly larger hole where the original hole was. Okay, so then the next thing you're gonna do is you're going to push this through. You see how this goes in here, all right? Put it half on each side, place it in the hole, and you're gonna have to jam it in there. Push with strong, steady pressure. It might be difficult to get in because you know, you're putting a big piece of metal in a really small hole, but it is rubber, but also there are, you know, there's metal in this rubber in the bands. So anyway, you just push this in, not as far as you can go, but what's gonna happen is this is gonna fold back, okay? You're gonna wanna have, I would say, at least a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch hanging out, and then you just pull it out. And then when you pull it out, because this is split right here, all right, if you can see that, all right, because that's split, it's gonna leave it in place, and then you just come with the razor blade, you cut it off, and then check for leaks after that. All right, and just one thing that I need to let you know. I believe this kit is in this bike because it's an adventure bike, and you expect that you may get a puncture or get a flat tire on you know, on the road somewhere or off the road where it's an emergency repair. They don't really discuss it at all. What they say in the Ducati manual is that punctured tires must be replaced. Replace tires with recommended standard tires only. Be sure to tighten the valve cap securely to avoid leaks when riding, and never use tube type tires. And here's where they really, you know, drive this home. Failure to heed this warning may lead to sudden tire bursting and to serious danger to rider and passengers, okay? Now, they do, however, also say tube repair or change. In the event of a tiny puncture, which was mine, tubeless tires will take a long time to deflate as they tend to keep air inside. If you find low pressure on one tire, check the tire for punctures. So they're saying tire repair or change, but then they tell you that you have to replace it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just ordering the tires, or the rear tire. Actually, I already ordered the tire. I'm going to have it changed so that I have a new tire in place, and that's it. I'm going to keep my speed down because of this, although I will tell you that, you know, I'm not overly concerned about a plug like this as I am, you know, maybe a rip or a tear that was repaired from the inside. The best repair for this type of situation would have been an interior inside repair, okay, not the plug. The plug, however, does come from Ducati. It comes on the bike, and I'm expecting that we're allowed to use it, so that's why I'm using it. So again, they're providing a tool for you for, let's call it an emergency situation, although they don't say that, but at the same time they're saying punctured tires must be replaced. Anyway, this is Rainbow. I hope you like this. Have yourself a great day, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you've listened long enough to hear me ask for this. Thank you and have a good day.